Good afternoon and welcome back to the West Ham Network. This is your Hammers Headlines in association with the guys over at Knees Up Mother Brown, kumb.com. Go across there, check it out. Great content, great banter from all over the world. West Ham fans, you name it, every country having some chinwags and a good bit of banter. This is the West Ham Network, so if you are new around here, go and hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Of course, leave a comment, give us your feedback as well. There's a bell notification if you want to hit that bell notification. You will be notified when our shows do go live. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, then click on the membership option. Let's push all that to one side because it's non-stop, and I hope you've enjoyed the show I did earlier on this morning. Well, I wouldn't really say enjoyed. It's a show on some of the news that's been reported about Wolves interested in Mickey Antonio and Craig Dawson. So that will be interesting to see how that story pans out, considering we take on Wolves in the relegation battle this weekend on Saturday, how important that game is for us to get that one over the line with 3 points. That would be huge. But stories are coming out left, right, and centre, and an interesting one today. A really interesting one is that West Ham apparently have a plan B and are keeping tabs on West Bromwich Albion manager Carlos Corberan, with pressure growing on David Moyes. Now, if West Ham are looking at this and we're thinking about the future, he is being considered as a potential replacement beyond this season. Now, the Spaniard has only been at West Brom since October, but has worked wonders at the club. And he took over the club when it was second bottom of the championship and has helped them climb up to 9th place. But what do we know about Carlos Corberan? And is this genuinely something we should be looking at and taking keen interest in? Now, he's already experienced the challenges of England's second tier during his coaching career. So after retiring at the age of 23, he was a former goalkeeper. He began his days in a dugout by overseeing youth development in his native Spain. Corberan, who is a doctorate in football, worked various roles before being promoted to the technical team at Spanish top flight club Villarreal. Carlos used spells as an assistant coach in Saudi Arabia to further improve his understanding of the game from a managerial perspective. He had 2 stints working lead roles in Cyprus, provided a first taste of senior management, and paved the way for the manager to earn himself an opportunity in England at Leeds United, balancing the academy and first team duties under Marcelo Bielsa between 2017 and 2020. He assisted the Argentine in senior matters, proved beneficial, with the now 39-year-old helping Leeds to promotion from the Championship as league winners. And Carlos used that success to begin his new chapter in his career by becoming the head coach at the local rivals Huddersfield Town. And it was his eye-catching tenure at the club where he guided them to the 2022 playoff final in his second season. And the new West Bromwich Albion boss at the time back in October will hope his return to England following a spell at Olympiacos will provide some more championship progress and success. And so far, it has. A young, forward-thinking manager, albeit working in the lower leagues, but has learned his trade throughout the world of football, doctorate in football, understands the game. Now, what do West Ham do here? Is there something in this story? Let's put it out there. West Ham, and quite possibly loads of clubs, will always have a plan B should things not start to work out. Whether or not that means Moyes is going is a whole new ballgame, because it looks like West Ham are backing David Moyes as things currently stand. But they will be looking at the next up-and-coming manager. They're not going to be going back the way in terms of looking at things like Steve Bruce. Of course, he's now retired, and I'm jesting with the name. But West Ham, hopefully, and at some point there will be a new manager, we have to be looking further forward and thinking further forward about where West Ham want to go. West Ham have a lot of players due to have their contracts finish at the end of this season. So we've not just going through this transition now of bringing new players in and transitioning them into the team. Come the summer, we're going through the next biggest transition at the club, where we've got up to 8 players out of contract and 8 older players where you can't see West Ham offering them contracts. So we're in a spell of transition where we're changing things at the club, and we need to do that. But it looks like it's all going to happen at once. Now, whether or not this is the guy that's going to come in sooner rather than later at West Ham, I don't know. One thing you will find is compensation package will be a lot less compared to some of the other managers that you've heard linked around, and because he's currently working at a club. but he looks like he's got a good career already under his belt, considering he is only 39. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure with this one, because obviously David Moyes is still in his role. So it's just about letting you know who Carlos Corberan is, and where he's at just now, and will it be an option? You let me know, put it in your comments, and let me know your thoughts about this man potentially being West Ham's plan B. As I move on to the next story, and this is all about Arnaut Danjuma, who plays for Villarreal, who is likely to leave Villarreal in January, and he's keen to move back potentially to the Premier League. Now, he was in fantastic form for Villarreal last time, scoring 10 goals in 23 La Liga games and 6 in the Champions Leagues, on their way to the semi-finals. But Unai Emery's successor, Setien, has limited Danjuma's game time this season since his arrival at the club, and a 25-year-old now reportedly wants to leave the club. That's according to several reports abroad, and they are claiming that some of the clubs like West Ham, but now Everton, are pushing hard. Not potentially West Ham, but Everton are pushing hard to try and land the player, who is valued still at £43 million. Now, I'm not sure how Villarreal can still value the player at that much money, considering he's not playing regular game time. So there's obviously an element of negotiation to be available when it comes to the player. Now, Villarreal do need to balance the books and would benefit from Danjuma being off their wage bill. While Everton and Danjuma wouldn't be tied together if the move doesn't work out, he's a talented player. He's a versatile performer. He typically operates as a centre forward, but he's also known to play on the left flank, particularly during his time at Bournemouth. And he was impressive when he was at Bournemouth. He played 52 games for the club when they were in the Championship, bagging 17 goals and claimed 8 assists for them as well. Would this be an option? Not at £43 million. We know that for a fact, that we ain't going to go into the market and spend that amount of money. But if there's a deal to be done with a player like him, could we take him off temporarily, off the books, with an obligation to buy, an option to buy a player that West Ham have been interested in before? You will have to keep your eyes peeled on this, because we look like we are in the market for a striker, and Moyes will want to bring someone in. Now, he does have the attributes of what David Moyes looks for, so keep your eyes on this potential deal. And that does, of course, bring an end to today's show. Thank you very much for watching. Are we in the market for another manager? You will have to keep your eyes peeled on that one. Carlos Corberan from West Brom is the man tipped to be West Ham's plan B. And is Danjuma back on the cards? We will have to wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. And, of course, come on, you Irons.